Thursday Night Tailgate, where the spotlight is always on the positive. Tune in Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time to hear your favorite NFL legends, players, and coaches sharing their stories. Now back to Chris and Bob.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Hey, we're back here on Thursday Night Tailgate, and now joining us in his regular weekly time slot is former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins. Hey, Tone, how are you tonight?
Hi, Tony. Doing fantastic. How you doing, Chris and Bob?
Really well,
Fine,
thank
thanks.
you, Tony. Tony, looking back at last week, you and I had really good weeks. It may be the first time ever that you and I had a better week than Bob. I can't remember a time when both of us actually had a better week than Bob. But 4-1 for you and me, Bob. 3-2. So when you look back on the results, we all correctly picked the Bengals over the Dolphins, and we all had the Rams over the Seahawks. Tony, you and I had the Chiefs over the Jags. Bob took Jacksonville in that one. And, Tony, you took the Falcons over the Steelers. Shame on you. Bob and I had that one right. And and you were the only one, congratulations, to take the Vikings over the Eagles. So 4-1, you and me, Bob 3-2. And for the season now, Tony, you are out in front now. You've gotten your nose ahead. You're 12-7-1. Bob 11-8-1, and I'm 10-9-1. So I've gotten myself back in the race, and you've gotten yourself a 1-game lead. So congratulations, Tony.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
He's been waiting for that for a long time.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bob. All right, so on to this week. And our first game is the one going on over all of our shoulders, I'm sure. We got the 2-3 Eagles at the 1-4 Giants. The Eagles are a 1-point road favorite in this one. The over-under is 44.5. Tony, who do you like tonight?
You know, I saw somewhere that the last 18 games that the Eagles and the Giants have played, the Eagles are 14-4 against the Giants. You know, I don't think the Eagles are even going to make the playoffs this year. And I'm going for the upset. I'm gonna go against the odds. I'm going with the home team tonight. I know the Giants are down by 7. I think they're down by 7 right now, but I think the Giants are going to come pull this game off. They're going to win. I'm going with the Giants with the upset 24-21 Giants.
All right. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I made my pick before the game, and I'm going to say the Giants too, Chris. For some reason, I just haven't liked what I've seen from Philly so far. Of course, you can't be too happy with the Giants, but the Giants, with those weapons and offense, I mean, they have to score points by default. Again, I'm not too impressed with Philadelphia so far. So, for some reason, I think the Giants, I mean, at 1-5, the fans are just going to revolt. So they have to win this game. I'm going to say the Giants pull it out, close to what Tony said. How about 27-20?
Wow, okay. Well, fellas, I have a hard time believing that the Giants could follow up a 3-13 season with a second straight bad one. But you know what? Here we are. Offense 23rd in the league in scoring average, and a team that just added Saquon Barkley, right? They're 28th in the league in rushing offense. They're averaging under 76 yards per game, and they're 23rd in scoring average at a shade under 21. Meanwhile, the defense, they're giving up almost 26 points a game, and their giveaway-takeaway ratio is a -3, which is 27th in the league. Eli isn't helping things out. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, nothing spectacular there. Middle of the pack in passing yards. So I don't know. Not much to like about the Giants. So I think they're going to send New York fans home sad again, second time in 3 days after the Yankees lost to the Red Sox. So I think they're going to send the Giants fans home sad. I'm going to go the other way. I'm taking the Eagles. I think they win this game. Very close to the same score you guys have, but I like the Eagles 24-17. Our second game are my 2-1 Steelers going to the 4-1 Bengals, and the Bengals are a 2-point home favorite. The over-under is 53. Tony, you're not going to make another mistake and pick against my boys 2 weeks in a row now, are you?
You know what? I watched Pittsburgh play last week. Man, the offense was clicking, man. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I'm going with Pittsburgh this year.
What do you got for a score, Tone? Lose Tony? Bob, you still with us?
I'm here.
All right, so maybe we get Tony back here in a second. Who do you like here?
I'm going to say I like Pittsburgh too, Chris. I think their record against Cincinnati in the last 7 or 8 years. It's something along the lines of 14-3, I think, and they've had especially good luck at Cincinnati, which is where they're playing this game. And I think Tony's right. I mean, the offense is getting it in gear. You mentioned before the defense looks a little better. Yeah, I think it has Steeler victory written all over it on the road. So I'm going to say Steelers 30-20.
So, guys, I see signs. I saw a couple of glimpses of some defense actually last week by the Steelers. 6 sacks against the Falcons. They hit Matt Ryan 13 times. Now, they didn't have any passes defended, so no one got their hands on a ball in the air, but pressure on the quarterback was good. They caused a fumble that resulted in a touchdown. Now, you look at the Bengals, Andy Dalton has only been sacked 9 times this season, so the Bengals offensive line is doing a good job, but Dalton is second in the league with 7 interceptions, so he's going to throw it to the Steelers a couple of times. We'll see what they can do with that. But, Steelers, when you look at how they played offensively, to Tony's point, a little bit of clicking with the running game. James Conner, 110 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. So I think the game is going to come down to which team gets more pressure on the quarterback and, which defense does a better job in pass defense. And, both teams near the bottom in that. But kind of something that Tony alluded to a moment ago before we lost his audio. But Ben Roethlisberger, 21-7 all-time against the Bengals. So I'm going to take my boys. I think they win this game 30-23. Third game this week are the 5-0 Rams going to the 2-3 Broncos. The Rams are a 6.5-point road favorite, and the over/under is 52. Tony, any hope that the Broncos are the ones that end the Rams' undefeated season?
Not a chance. Rams all the way, 47-13, blowout.
47-13, Tony Collins blowout special of the week. Wow. All right. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess the Broncos can only hope that somehow the altitude is out of control or something for the Rams. But I can't see any reason why they can't even put 30 points on the board by default. That's the Rams are just that good offensively. So even if they allow a few, Rams are probably going to win this. How about 38-20?
And guys, like I said last week, I'm picking the Rams until somebody shows me that they can beat them. I mean, their offense, third in the league, they're averaging nearly 35 points a game. Their defense is 6th, only allowing 19.6 points per game. 34.6 scoring, 19.6 giving up. A nice 15-point swing there. Jared Goff leads the league in passing yards, second only to Drew Brees in passer rating. You're welcome, Earl Parker, for the Drew Brees plug. I'd still take Pat Mahomes over him in a fantasy draft, but we'll talk more about that. But the Rams are doing too many good things, guys. And oh, by the way, Todd Gurley is second in the league in rushing yards and leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 7. So I'm sticking with it. I like the Rams with you guys. I think they win this game 38-24. Our fourth game this week are the 3-2 Ravens going to the 3-2 Titans, and the Ravens are a 2.5-point road favorite. Over/under is 41.5. Tony, who gets a W here?
It's going to be a tough game, man. I love the Titans' defense, but I also like the Ravens' offense. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Ravens will pull it off. 27-23 Ravens.
Bob, who do you like?
I agree with Tony. I like Baltimore. They've actually given up less points than Tennessee. I mean, their differential is very good this year, and they're scoring points, and they seem to be in a decent place right now. I think they continue doing that. How about Baltimore 27-24? Quick and close one.
Okay. And guys, like you said, Bob, the Ravens defense right now is where you'd expect them to be. They're number 1 in average points allowed. They're only giving up 15.4 points per game. 5th in the league, in rushing yards allowed at 88.4. So playing very stingy defense. Now in Tennessee, on the opposite side, when you look at their offense, they're not scoring very many points. They're 29th in the league. They're only scoring 17.4 points per game. Now, Ravens can't run the ball, right? They're struggling there. They're under 100 yards rushing per game. And, what they've done is done it all, if you can believe this, with Joe Flacco as their quarterback. They're doing it through the air. He's averaging over 300 yards per game, and but the Titans defense is 3rd in the league, and passing yards allowed at 210. So I think this is going to be a fun battle. I think you got opposing things going at each other, but I see this as a field goal battle. And if it's a field goal battle, Justin Tucker is probably the best there is, and he's going to win that every time. So I think it's a little closer, a little lower scoring, but I'm taking the Ravens with you guys. I like them 18-12. We got our last game, and we've got our next guest, Mark Carey, on the line. We're going to get to Mark in just a moment. Last game is the 5-0 Chiefs going to Tony's 3-2 Patriots on the Sunday night game. Patriots are a 3.5-point home favorite, and the over-under is 59.5. Tony, can your boys be the ones that stop Pat Mahomes?
Man, you know what? I would love to see Mahomes go undefeated for the whole season, but unfortunately, they're playing the Patriots at home, and unfortunately, we got Belichick and we got Brady. And it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I picked my Patriots 41-38, beating the
wow
41-38.
Okay, high-scoring affair. Bob, is he right?
I think he is right. In New England, and Tony knows the Sunday night, Monday night crowds, they're all going to be bammed up. It's going to be insane there. So yeah, it's going to take away some of Kansas City's luster there, because this is there's kind of a rivalry here already, between these two teams, who can score more. But I just think the Patriots, and I'm not a fan of their defense, but they do play a little better defense than Kansas City does at this point. So, like Tony said, points will be scored. How about 35-31 New England?
Wow, and I'm almost right on top of that, Bob. I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I think, the Chase defense is allowing 343 yards passing per game. And now you're going to face Tom Brady and a guy who just got a new weapon in Josh Gordon, and they've had a week to kind of get on the same page with one another. Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots, too. I had it 34-31 New England. Tony, before we let you go, remind our listeners about the great things you're doing helping kids go to college.
TonyCollinsFoundation.org. Go to the website, donate as much as you can, helping kids go off to college.
Great stuff as always, Tony. Thank you for your time tonight. We look forward to catching up with you again next week. In between now and then, my friend, all the best to you and your family.
Take care, Tone.
You guys have a great one. God bless, guys.
Good night.
See you, Tone. That is former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins and our 5-star picks of the week. We've got our next guest, Mark Carrier, hanging on the line. We're going to get to Mark on the other side of this quick station break.